past couple of years, I've been getting more serious about my personal finance journey, I guess you can say. Um, I guess one of the main triggers is going back to school and accruing some debt again, and trying to get rid of that as soon as possible. But then also thinking about where my money would go next after these were paid off. And so I started doing more research on the world of budgeting, personal finance, consuming a lot of content especially on YouTube around what other people are doing, especially here in Canada, what kinds of accounts they're using, how to invest and ways to invest if you're a beginner, if you're new. So yeah, that's kind of how I started, and the reason why I started learning more about personal finance. Now, over the past couple of years, I've also been talking with my friends and family a lot more about their personal finance situations. And as a result of that, I've also heard several questions from many of my friends as well about what they should be doing in their situation as well. And so it kind of, to be honest, it was pretty eye-opening in how so many of my friends have the same kinds of questions, and the same kind of viewpoint of not really knowing too much about personal finance other than what was taught to them by their parents or peers or friends. Things aren't discussed in school at all. One of the things is that it took, it's an ongoing journey for me to consume all this media, to understand all these, different terms, such as compound interest, or such as the various investment accounts that you could use to further grow your investments or have various tax breaks. And so I found it quite overwhelming to kind of digest all at once. And so over the past couple of years, I've been slowly consuming this content and, slowly pulsing some of my friends on what they've, been doing themselves. Now, talks about personal finance are things that I generally try to avoid, especially while I was younger. But as I get older, I think about the various accounts that the government offers us that I feel many of us are underutilizing, myself included. I think about how hard it is to afford expenses now and how much harder it will be in the future. I think about how I don't want to be working for the rest of my life, and I also want to do everything I can now to take advantage of the time between now and retirement, taking advantage of things like compound interest, and how my money can grow over time. And with me being curious about how I'm going to answer the questions for myself, I've also been more open to talking amongst my friends and family about what they've been doing. And I'm hearing a lot of the same kinds of questions about how those that are my age, even older, are in a similar situation of, not being sure. And that was me only a couple of years ago. So I do feel like there's a lot of, mystery out there, a lot of hesitation on even wanting to begin learning, a lot of avoiding because it feels like it's something overwhelming. It seems like something you need so much knowledge on before you can even make a smart decision on where it's going. It seems easier to just, continue on, doing what you've been doing, and hopefully it's been working up until now. But also it might mean that you aren't aware that there are much more effective ways to grow your wealth, and that being prepared for the future is more about just saving and really is about growing and trying to figure out how to make that money grow over time. Saving alone will just not stand the test of inflation. So where I'm going with this is to say that my investing journey wasn't at all like an all-in type of journey. It's rather I kind of explored what was out there, um, learned a little bit more about the various apps that I could use, um, and then slowly getting comfortable, investing small amounts in both non-registered and registered accounts, and experimenting with different things such as individual stocks, cryptocurrencies, index funds, ETFs, and high interest savings accounts. So I'm thinking of making this into a series where I'll break the series down into several different parts. So, for example, budgeting, um, how to use Wealthsimple to invest as a beginner, how to file your taxes, savings accounts that I use and the reasons why, or the investing accounts that I choose to invest in and why. So those are just 5 examples of some of the topics that will be upcoming, and it also relates to the various questions that I've received from my friends. So I'll also go over what I've heard and what I have been asked over the years. I think that'll be a really interesting lens, and for me to answer kind of on camera, because at the time, to be honest, I'm not sure if I was able to give a solid response to my friends, and so I can kind of re-attempt how I would answer now. You've reached the end of the video, so thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe or consider subscribing if you learned something, or if you're curious about the future topics I'll be discussing on this channel. Thanks so much.